Alright guys and gals, got a 2010 Journey, and there's always issues with these cars with the heat being hot on the driver's side, cool on the passenger side, or not hot at all sometimes even. So I'm going to kind of show you a video here to break it down on easy ways to check it. Save yourself the headache first. Do the simple stuff first that don't cost you much, if anything, and then go from there. So you got your glove box. If you got dual controls, this is especially for y'all. Drop your glove box. It just has two hinge points on the bottom. Push these little fingers in on the sides and it'll drop, and you pull right off of there. Right behind it is your blend door motor and heat door actuators. The heat one is actually on the bottom. The upper side up here is for your feet, defrost, etc. So turn your key on, turn the heat panel on, something at least blowing on, doesn't matter what. Alright, and then you'll see, adjust your temperature for the passenger side. And now I'm going cold. See, it's working there. So back to heat. And there it goes, that's full heat. So, and my issue now, I've got some heat, it's been better, I've flushed it out and whatnot, but it's still not as good as it could be or has been. So once you verified that, then just shut your heat panel back off, shut your key off. And those things are not hard to replace. You can see they got screws on them. This upper one here, you can tell, has been replaced because it's got, instead of Phillips, it's got little flat heads. When I replaced that, I think, a year or 2 years ago. So either way, they're not hard to replace, and they're fairly easy to get to. So let's go up front to the engine bay, and I'll show you the heater core hose connections and whatnot, and we'll go from there. Alright, up here you've got your, I've already taken off my engine cover. Shove me a light under here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Those two hoses right there are your heater core connections. And I've done this a couple times. Every year you just have to flush it, so I'm kind of used to messing with this, but I'll show you some tips. Easy way to do what I do. Take you a pair of vice grips. If you don't have regular cable clamp pliers, you can use whatever, but if you only want to do it one time like I do, take them on here. Sorry, the video gets a little funky and trying to do two things at once. And that'll happen to you every time you snap your fingers. You'll see she's starting to slack off there already. What I'm trying to do is get to where it'll latch the clamp, and then you can just slide the clamp back. Like so. Naturally, it's not going to work for me because I've been trying to do it on a video, right? So, some slack wires here. There we go. I've already had a car running, so it's getting hot too. So, also an issue. But when I put this on last time, I reversed the lines intentionally to get it to go the other way and flush it out, which should actually work pretty good. And after we get done doing what I'll show you here, it'll kind of give you an idea too whether or not you need to do yours, or you can do it whichever way you want. But let me get the other line off of here without making a mess of me and my phone, and I'll get right back here. Alright, now you can see you got both of them off. It didn't take as long as it really probably would think, but these clamps tend to have a tendency to spin on you. So, makes it twice as much fun to get it out. But yeah, you're going to lose a little bit of coolant. Put you a pan under there to catch it all, for your local regulations. You know what I'm talking about. You'll pull it off of there. You can see most of the time, it'll either come out dark. Sometimes it might come out where it looks fine. But, like I said, I flush mine about every year. But having both those lines exposed, this is an easy way here for, just get you a little piece of this plastic hose, 5/8 tubing, 3/4, 3/4 slides on a little easier, but it's just flexible stuff, so cheap plastic. You can buy it. This one I got at Tractor Supply because it's right by the house, but you can get it at Walmart, Home Depot, whatever. Just clear plastic tubing. This is what you'll use to help put you some cleaner in here. So you're just gonna right over here. Make sure I don't knock over my drink. Most important thing. So this stuff here is the stiff stuff, which wasn't what I was really looking for, but it works. It's just twice as much of a pain. So, like everything else on this car, it's gonna struggle. So, let's see if I can get this where we can make this work here. Works better if it's hose is hotter, but it's cold out here today, so. See if I put this where you guys can see what I'm doing here. Without scratching my paint, because this stuff will scratch your paint, this hose here. Just FYI. Slide on there like so. You can see I got a little bend in it right now, so. Let's see what we can do here. Get it to match the curve of the hose, and we'll be all right. So, stick your arm down there. Sorry, I'm not really showing you anything right here, but there you go. Get that on there, and then we'll go to the next part here. Actually, sideways on you guys. So you see, you got the hose connected here, and pull this bend out, and we'll be able to stick some cleaner in there. All right. So now that you got this hose connected, what you can do, an easy way. Pull up here. You hear all the traffic in my neighborhood. Can't wait to move. Anyways, so get back down here, you'll be able to see. Alright, what I'm gonna do is just blow through this hose. Like you're blowing up a beach ball or something. Yeah, see, there's not much coming out. I did it the first time, but I think I probably blew most of it out. But that's the easy way to just get the majority of stuff out. And then what you can do is actually use this hose, put your funnel in here, dump you some vinegar. It works, but it's not as strong as you might think. So, and besides your car smelling like a dill pickle afterwards, you know, you can use Coca-Cola, regular straight Coke, pour it in there and let it sit and flush it back out with water. Or you can use CLR, that household chemical, or like what I'll use is a simple green. Dump it through there and let it sit for a little bit, blow it back out, pour it down this hose, blow it back out, just by your house, by your mouth, whatever hose, whatever you want to do, and then just reconnect your hoses back, and then start the car, refill the coolant, whatever you lost. Most of the time it's marginal, if anything. Usually about a quart, I think, that holds in that thing, and the heater core. So once you do that, get up to operating temperature, and I'll do that here, and then I'll stick a thermometer in it, and we'll be able to see how hot it's actually blowing. All right, see y'all in a bit. All right, so what I've done is I put the simple green down this tube. So what I'm going to do is just kind of show you the same way. I didn't want to use the same funnel again because it's just more work I got to clean up. But anyways, I'm going to take, let's see if we can get out here far enough for the camera. All you're going to do is basically you're taking it, putting some water behind this tube or something just to flush it back out so you're not 100%. So dump you a little bit in there. Alright, this looks good, but alright, so now just lift it up. It'll drain right in there naturally, right? So let's see if I can. Once again, I apologize, guys. I don't do this for a living. So get down here, we can show you what's going to come out of this thing after just. So soaking it. So then just take this hose and then blow through it. Yeah, if I get a bend out of it, I could probably do it. This thing to not kink so bad. Alright. What am I doing wrong here? This is why you need that flexible tubing instead of this hard plastic stuff. I've done it 3 times without the camera on, did fine. But you know how that goes. Get this to where it'll bend. There we go, I think that might work. Basically how you're doing, you're blowing that stuff right out of there, just get all the trash out. So what I'm going to do now is pull this off of here and reconnect the lines the correct way. And you'll kind of see they're only kind of bent one way. They'll go either direction, but you'll be fighting against it. But like I said, I did mine reverse that way and ran it for about a month, and then flush it back out because it's kind of, you know, going against the way of how it's designed to go. You're going to pick up the extra trash and whatnot. So we'll put these lines back on here and then we'll test it out and let y'all see what the results are. Alright, you can see I got both hoses back on. What I forgot to mention, while they're loose, you can spin those clamps by your fingers fairly much, so you can kind of get them where you can set it where you don't have to play with them forever once you put it on. Do the top one first and you'll see it's more of the straighter one, so it's fairly straight shot and easy to get on. That second one with that curve on it is the bottom one naturally. So then just put them on there, squeeze your clamps. Make sure you can get them as far as forward as you can, and make sure you have the clamps in front of the edge of that heater core stub, and you'll be able to squeeze the hose and tell if you're far enough. If you don't have it far enough forward, you'll end up with little drips or a small leak, and that coolant smell stinks just versus anything. So anyway, so here we are here. So that's connected back up. I'm going to top off the coolant a little bit here, and basically that's it. And now crank up the car, let it get up to operating temperature, and we'll see what kind of output we got on the dash. Alright guys, you can see, I'll see if it focuses out here. I've got it running here. It's only been running a few minutes, but like I said, I had it warmed up before I did all this stuff. That's just so it makes the coolant a little bit easier to grab the dirt out of it. Also makes it easier on the hoses when they come off. And so we're sitting at just a tick mark above the full cold at 42 degrees outside, and I am reading 110 degrees coming out of this vent, and that's that already feels warmer than it did. I should have done one prior to it if I'd have been smart, but like I said, I don't do this for YouTube living. I'll stick it on this side and see what we got over here. 110, or actually cooler on the 100 side, but like I said, we ain't up to operating temp yet, and 100 degrees is better than 50 degrees or, you know, what have you. So we'll run it on that side, considering that's always the cold side on these cars. But we'll bring the revs up here about 2 grand and kind of hold it, let it get warm up a little quicker. Also get that coolant circulating through there. So it's already way better than it was beforehand, but just to kind of give you an idea on how to do it. It's much hotter already than it was. Because before I could drive this thing until, man, that'd be easily up to almost full operating temperature on it, and it would still be, it would be hot on the driver's side on this far vent, and it would just progressively get cooler on that side. And I know it's been better, so that's why I'd flip the lines back and then flush it out. Like I said, hopefully it saves you some money. If nothing else, you tried that before you, if you actually end up having to replace the heater core. There's a couple shortcuts. There's videos all over YouTube about that. I won't go into that, but you can replace it. It's not that hard of a job. I know it looks like a lot of plastic, but once you take off the first, your display here, this is all snap-on anyway. Once you take that off, half the car is done there. So, but you do have to take the center consoles out. But that's another video if we come to it. But like I said, I apologize for the quality of this one, just because I'm trying to do it with one-handed, and I got the shakes bad. So, if there's any questions, just shoot me a comment on here, and I'll get back with you. Because right now we're sitting at almost 110 degrees, and we are, will not focus for nothing, quarter of the way up to operating temperature. So, and yes, I know my tire pressure light's on, but that's also because I did this. So those are Jeep Wrangler wheels on a journey, yes, but that's how they should have done it from the factory, in my opinion, because it makes it look like something. But anyways, guys, like I said, got questions, posting up here, I'll get back with you. And hopefully this helped you at least some way. Like I said, try it yourself, try to save you the money. It's 2 hoses and 2 clamps. Anybody can do that. All right, y'all be safe.